sink into this time around because I'd been hearing so many advertisements on the radio, TV, et cetera. And I said, well, Micheal, if there's a time, now is the time. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. Stop procrastinating and move forward. So that's kind of what got me into it. Mo, did you have any specific questions you wanted me to?
Oh yeah, I do, Micheal. I certainly do. So first off, how did you hear about the Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp?
Well, I was doing, as part of this exploratory search about tax liens in general, I was looking over the internet over the course of, I would say probably about a month or so. And I've been coming across different companies across the country that were conducting training and so on and so forth. However, as I was getting into a lot of the reviews, et cetera, a lot of them really didn't seem, credible. The comments weren't necessarily that great. And then I stumbled across Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp, and I said, okay, let me poke into this a little bit. And I started reading, just in general information about the individuals who were involved in Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. And in a nutshell, I think just the impeccable record that I saw of all of those people in this endeavor, that pretty much drove me towards Georgia Tax Lien Bootcamp. And if anybody wants to get in this business, this is where I send them.
Awesome. Did you have any type of expectations before you took the class?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I really didn't know what to expect taking the class. Going.
Oh, he called me and asked me what he called me with a list of questions.
I sure did.
He called me, check me out.
I said, you know what? I'm getting into this thing. I said, let me go ahead and find out what I can. And I called Chantel. I was so gracious that she called me back because half of these organizations, they get so big, and this guy's made millions of dollars doing these trainings and things like that they feel that they're too PhD, piled higher and deeper. They don't want to get, into the weeds and really talk to, common folk. But I called Chantel. I said, what do I expect? What are you going to do? And so on and so on. And she walked me through step by step. So I was just really encouraged at that point. I said, yeah, this is what I want to do. And, I got involved and, took the class and, I haven't had a regret since.
Well, Micheal, we have, of course, a whole panel of students that is sitting in the seat right now that you sat in as well. So I do want to break it down just a little bit to the level that they are right now where you were. So, and you started out with that just a moment ago. So tell us a little bit about the class and how things were in terms of you learning the actual curriculum itself.
Yeah.
What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, so I will tell you point blank that our class was very interactive. We had a diverse group of individuals who came in with a whole degree of a whole set of skills that actually complemented our ability to learn about tax liens. We had people that were in the real estate industry, people who were house flippers, et cetera, that were trying to, actually get greater margins on some of the homes that they had been investing in. And for the most part, these individuals helped fuel the desire to actually be successful in this business. And I think, quite frankly, a lot of us actually stayed together as a group and helped each other with different aspects of due diligence and that type of stuff, preparing for the auction. So I would say that working with those individuals, understanding what their personal objectives were, helped formulate my personal objectives as well, and actually helped change my mind in some respects to how I was actually going to view and absorb and make benefit of what was being shared in the class. I think the biggest contributor in this training itself was just the fact that we were literally dealing with live data. So we actually took material off of the Cobb County site, and we were able to utilize some of the data that was there to formulate the strategies that we used to actually go and bid. And that county was great. you can use this in any county in the United States. You may have to make some modifications here and there, but if you're doing tax liens in Georgia in general, I stick to Gwinnett County. For the most part, I think this formula works so well. You just can't get it any better anywhere else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you feel like you had the confidence that you needed for due diligence, going to the auction, just investing in tax liens, period?
Yeah, absolutely. And I will tell you that although the core curriculum was within DeKalb County, because there was a good program there for you to actually learn and invest in, I chose to work in some other counties outside of Georgia as well. So I think going into auction day and any other, I was very confident with what I had learned and what I had actually deployed. And there's some other things that I could probably share with you a little bit later down the road. But quite frankly, I was very well suited and very well prepared for auction day. I had people. My daughter will probably tell you the story a lot better than I can, but I had people on auction day, when they saw me bidding and they saw, I guess, the system that I was utilizing, they would actually reposition themselves from within the crowd to either try to stand next to me or behind me to see what the heck I was doing. Case in point, Gwinnett County, the Gwinnett County auction, if any of you guys are actually going to do auctions there, they post all of their information in the Gwinnett Daily Post. So you don't just get the information online, you have to go to the Daily Post and pull the information off of the online newspaper. And at auction day, they don't do Gwinnett County proper. They do Duluth City first, and then they do Gwinnett County afterwards. So on auction day in Gwinnett County, they started shooting off all of these parcel numbers, and folks were like, that's not on the list. That's not on the list. But I had done my homework and I was ready because I had the Duluth list. I was ready to go. And if you invest in tax liens in Duluth, I mean, you're in good shape because they got so much going on in that city. It's it's something to take advantage of.
Awesome.
I got a question for Michael. So Michael, you took our 4-day class, and I don't think at the time you took our class, we had a 2-day class. So we now have a 2-day class, and it doesn't include the bus tour and the auction. And so well, we created this class because when we were doing our 4-day, a lot of people said, I wish you had an option that was cheaper. I wish you had an option that didn't take so many days because I can't take that many days off. And we heard that so much that we was like, okay, we got to create this product. So we created the product, but we can't impress upon people because, people feel we're biased, but we can't impress upon them like, listen, you need to get these other 2 days if you really want this information to make sense. So I just would, maybe I've biased you with this, the way I've prefaced this question, but can you talk to, if you would have only had the 2 theory days and you didn't have the actual bus tour or a chance to go to the auction and actually bid and win on properties? Look, I'm sorry, let me let you talk.
No, quite frankly, I don't think I would have been as confident going into auction day had I not had those two extra days. I'm going to tell you why. We got a chance to go and see properties. We got a chance to view them, the exterior, and make assumptions based on what we actually saw. But what we were learning in the classroom, coupled with what we actually saw in that bus tour, helped actually bring and solidify things in such a manner that when you start doing your own due diligence process, you will see how all of these things come together. Number one. The second piece of that being you've got to allow what's being taught in this class to be poured into you, because again, just based on personal experience, this is the most comprehensive training you'll ever get. And to have that holistic view of the entire process, start to finish, bus tour, sample auctions, which we're done on our bus. I mean, it gives you the ability to really go into auction day with an extremely high degree of confidence, knowing that you can successfully navigate your way through a sea of sharks that are out there trying to outbid you, and you know, you're gonna do well. You've got to do that. Chantel, if you need me to record you a commercial, I'll do it. I'm dead serious.
Oh, Michael, now you know, don't tempt me.
No.
We gonna do that.
You know, you got to have the full curriculum, man. I mean, that's the way to do it. And you know, I'm gonna put you like this right here. Okay, let me get country on y'all, and I'm not from the country, but it's a tax write-off. It's training. Okay, so spend the money if you can, formulate your business, and this is a training expense. You can write it off. Look at it from that perspective. Don't minimize your opportunities to actually get into this field and learn and maximize your potential by cutting corners. That's as best as I can put it to you.
All right, Michael. Now we know we know you've had some success. What was it like winning your first parcel?
So I took my whole family with me, right, to auction day, and you know, we had done our homework and stuff like that. But I'm gonna put it to you like this: we researched like crazy. One of the things that that we did, and my wife, we used to work for Gwinnett County a while back. We actually went to the planning and development website, and we had an opportunity to see essentially what Gwinnett County was going to look like over a course of years. The first parcel that we that I bidded on, nobody was really. You had a couple guys that were challenging me, but you know, I bid them out. But I was ecstatic. The reason being, do I have the ability to show screen?
You do. You absolutely do.
I do.
You're on mute, Chantel.
Oh yeah, you should see the green share screen.
Okay, I am going to show you guys something here real quick. Okay. Okay, so in Gwinnett County, I was at the auction, and my wife and I, we had researched, you know, these two parcels of land right here. So the first is 0.26 acres. I won that at auction for $1,536. The second was 0.44 acres right next to it. This is undeveloped land. Okay, got that for $3,700. A lot of people are like, okay, fine, no big deal. You got two parcels of land. What are you going to do with it? You got all of this other stuff behind you. Okay, here's why. And this is one of the reasons why you want to do the research. Go to the planning and development websites for the various counties that you're actually bidding in to understand exactly what's going on in the county. Okay, this is why it's important, because here's what's happening. Here are my two parcels, right? And this is the planned development that's going on around it. Okay. So I say that to say this. Okay, so effectively I've got what, $5,200 invested, roughly? Let me ask you a question. How much do you think this is worth right now?
Maybe about 200,000.
Probably not
300.
Just the raw land itself with no structure on it. Probably not that much.
Yeah, it's more than that.
I'll tell you one
More
thing.
than 200.
Yeah, it's the one parcel. As a matter of fact, I've received phone calls for this over time, and I've gone anywhere from 17,000. I'm up to like 41,000 right now on just a single parcel. Both of them together, collectively, we're looking at about 72. Okay, so there's opportunities there, and this is one of the reasons why you want to do the research as much as you can. But again, I could not have had this degree of confidence going into auction, being able to bid without actually taking this class.
Okay. So, Michael, what's your investment strategy, and And how have we been able to assist you with creating that?
Okay, so I'm a buy and hold kind of guy for a couple of reasons. Similar to this strategy here, I'm holding out until the market price goes up. Quite frankly, I'm holding out until this development's finished. And if the developer so decides that he wants to purchase this, all well and good, I could start over again and go and bid on some other properties. But in addition to that, I'm also a part of a couple of projects here within the city, not just Gwinnett, but the city of Stonecrest in particular, and also College Park. So I can't quite divulge a lot of information regarding that, but buy and hold is the route that I want to take for a couple of reasons. I'm going to share something else with you on screen as well.
Michael, I didn't know you was a part of the city of doing anything with Stonecrest. Do you, just offhand, do you know, are they still going to do Atlanta Sports City? You can't tell me.
We'll talk offline about that. I'm gonna tell you. I'm putting it to you like this: if you invest in anything around Stonecrest, okay?
Okay, yeah, okay, I got you. I got property, and I was like, okay, is anything ever gonna happen, or did I just get all of this for nothing? But okay,
yeah.
I heard it was still underway, Chantel.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, because at one point, did you know that Stonecrest Mall had went into the tax sale? Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There's there are several initiatives that are coming to the forefront that I'm working with a group of individuals, consulting, of course, and we're hoping that some of these initiatives will be funded within the next, I'm going to say, 2 to 4 weeks. If they do, you should be seeing some movement within the next year. So I'm hoping that that all goes well. But there's been a number,
because I had a major decision to make, so I was wondering. So okay.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stumbling blocks, a lot of issues. Just trying to work through some problems in general. The new Black Street Market just got opened, where the old Target used to be. However, the perimeter spanning out from just that hub itself and everything else that the group's putting together ought to be life-changing for a lot of people. So I'm praying that everything comes together. But it's a massive undertaking, but it's got so much doggone potential. It's unreal, man. I'm really excited about it. And then the second piece of the puzzle is I actually have 2 parcels in South Fulton, College Park, in the on the Fulton side, 30337. And if you guys get an opportunity, I'm going to ask you to go to the website. The name of the website is 6th West. The number 6 West, the word West. And you will see essentially what the plan is for the development of College Park. Okay. That I can share with you because that's public knowledge. All right. But anyway, to answer most questions, so yes, I buy and hold. I look at planning and development, and I utilize the information that I gather from those sites, as well as my own due diligence and everything that I've learned in class to really put forth a strategy. I'm gonna share a couple other items with you real quick because I know we're limited on time here.
Actually, Mike, we're okay on time, so take your time.
Okay. So, right. Another Gwinnett County property. I'd won at auction. This was $7,000. Similar parcels in that area. We're going for about 46. You would look at this road. It's a dirt road, and a lot of folks were sitting there like, there's no way, God's green earth, you're gonna get me to bid on something like this. But you go to these things and you actually do your research. You go and you look at the GIS map. You get to see whether or not these properties are in floodplains and different things of that nature. The bottom line was, for me, I think this was a really good investment. The reason I'm saying that because nothing on the block that's on the paved section of the road was under, $525,000. And this is before the market just went up. I would say probably about the past 2-3 months. All right. So I don't know what these homes are valued right now, but quite frankly, the neighborhood's great. And we're not talking small parcels either. You're looking at an acre and a half at the, being probably the smallest parcel that you actually had on this block. But there were 3, if I'm not mistaken, there were 3 on this block, and I picked up one of the 3. Right.
Awesome.
But I plan on holding on to this one as well. My original plan was to actually take each one of these parcels that I got in Gwinnett and give them my children. Right. I have 3 kids, so I can't call them kids anymore. They're all grown. But I was going to give them each a parcel and actually walk them through the process of developing it. If they so desire, that's what they want to do. If they want to move out of the state of Georgia and sell it down the road, but at least they've got equity. So that was my intent when I did this. Outside of that, I also I got bold and I went to the United States Virgin Islands because that's where I'm from, and I got involved in the tax lien process down there. I'm not showing you the entire list, but I'll tell you this much: just based on the list that was run when I actually started my bid, they had roughly 59 million in delinquent taxes that were due. And auctions are only held once per year. On the island of St. Croix, it's in July, and then in St. Thomas and St. John, it's in August. Now, some of you may ask, well, Michael, why did you do that? Well, here's the reason. The government needed the money. After Hurricanes Maria and Irma, they needed the money because things were flowing into the territory pretty slow. As a matter of fact, they're still in a pretty tight spot right now. But in addition to that, when your home is damaged in a United States territory like that, nice vacation spot. But if your home is damaged, half of these folks, what they end up doing is they will abandon ship and they all go to U.S. mainland pretty quick. That means that you could snatch up properties down there for dirt cheap, and that's part of the reason why I got into tax liens in the first place, because I wanted to go back home and make some investments there. So I actually did get the chance to bid on a parcel down there, and essentially before the hurricane, this is what it looked like. You could barely see it from the street. It was just covered with bushes and the whole 9 yards. And of course, the hurricane rolled through. I had to hold on to it for a year. But after the hurricanes moved through, I was able to acquire the property. But as you can see over here, the roof got damaged pretty bad. I had to go and clean all of the stuff from around it and so on and so forth. I am not going to try to rescue this house. I'll probably plow it down. And the reason I'm doing that is because of this. Like I said at the beginning of the call, research, right? The area that the house is in is actually on the east side, the northeast side of the island. And there's this section of the coastline called the boardwalk. There's a seaplane ramp that's actually over here on the left. And if you actually take the seaplane, you can actually walk along this entire boardwalk into the shopping district and pretty much go around, get your vices. And the vices in the Virgin Islands are liquor, cigarettes, jewelry, and perfume. So those things you can get real cheap. But I want you to pay attention to the right here where you actually see this. It's an old fort from when the islands were colonized a long time ago, right? And you're going to say, well, what does that have to do with this house? I'm going to show you why. So this is the fort here on the left, okay? That boardwalk is actually going to be developed, and it's going to actually run across the entire pier section that's east of that fort. And they're going to make this a luxury cruise terminal. So they've actually started breaking ground on this already. And that home that I just showed you is right here, that little block right there at the bottom of the screen where the blue arrow is, okay? All of this is going to be redeveloped into commercial property. So I have that house, and then my brothers and sisters, we're looking at acquiring the 2 properties next door to it right now, which are currently undeveloped. Right. So that's the long and short of it. That's as much as I could share with you today.
On my beachfront property,
yeah,
Michael.
I know you're gonna say it. So Chantel asked me. She said, "Michael, I need you to find me that beachfront property down there." So I have not been able to find that yet. I'm still looking. Everything else is.
Well, I think on that close.
Yeah, you know what? you know they because of Irma and all this stuff, they put a moratorium on tax liens down there. Yeah, man. So they're not gonna be able to do any until I think the federal government is going to tell them when they can actually start having tax sales again. But they actually wanted to give the people who had left after the hurricanes an opportunity to come back and repurchase. So yeah, it's a sticky situation. But as soon as I hear something, I'll let you know. But they're short sales.
I'd love to go down there and be in a tax sale and
oh yeah,
get some property. I'm trying to expat anyway. Well, that's not really expat, but you know what I mean.
Yep, understand.
What website do you use to find that information on St. Croix? Because my husband's actually from St. Croix, and we've been looking at property down there, but I never considered the tax lien.
Yeah, so I went to the Lieutenant Governor's website. If you go to that site right now, it's down. But
Okay.
you should be able to go to the Lieutenant Governor's office and make a request.
Okay.
And they will probably share with you the list, but they will probably tell you right now that there's no sale.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. What's your husband's name?
Michael. Woo-wee. This is a
Glenn Bonnet.
On it. Frederickston?
They're from Catherine's Rest area.
Catherine's Rest. Okay. Trying to remember if I went to school with anybody that was there. Yeah, the thing about the Virgin Islands, half of these tax liens some of these guys were classmates of mine. So
Yeah, they went to Seventh Adventist School.
okay. Yeah, my mom was she worked at the school there for a while as well. So I'll dig it up in the archives and see if I come across any references that we can share.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Well, Michael, I don't have any questions for you, but if you don't mind sticking around for maybe a few more minutes, I'd like to open the floor up to the class who, of course, they're getting their feet wet now and all of the information that we've shared over the last couple of days. And I'd love for them to be able to ask you a few questions if you don't mind, if anybody has any. Would that be all right?
I want to say, Michael, do you know that y'all class is still our reigning top class in terms of the most students who have purchased not only in class, but outside of class?
Wow.
And we have looked at that class, and what we have determined is that class really took to heart what we said about joint venturing and sticking together.
Yes.
And you guys have just been knocking it out the box. We, that day when we went to auction, we had 7 people in class purchase properties, and then we've had probably 5 others since that class purchasing. And it's probably more because a lot of times, I don't know, like sometimes students come back, like we had you, I'm just finding out about all these properties that you got. Like y'all don't even call me to say, guess what? So it's probably more, so because we found out there was what was her name? Rihanna was in your class.
Yes.
And we talked to her. She was like, oh yeah, I bought me a tax lien property. And I was like, what? So yeah.
Yeah. The great, well, I'll put it to you this way. I would love to be a lot more involved with tax liens right now. My wife and my children always ask me, Dad, when we go back to a tax sale? And I'm pretty content with what I have right now, but I've had some situations, life happened. Both of my in-laws have cancer, and my wife and we've been taking care of them, and I had moved my younger sister in with me, several months back. So I'm her primary caretaker at this point. So I don't get the opportunity to get out as much as I can. So for now, I'm content with what I'm doing and my strategy thus far. But at some point in time, I'm guessing within the next couple of months, I'm going to be back out there again.
Awesome. Literally awesome. Thank you, Michael. Our prayers to your family as well. All right. So anybody like to ask Michael a question in reference to his experience, tax liens? The floor is open.
Michael, has there ever been a time where you purchased a tax lien at the end of the year, it fell through, things you weren't able to, take advantage and actually own the property? And if so, what was that experience like?
Okay, so I had two quads actually in the Virgin Islands that didn't come to fruition. Well, I'm not gonna harp on it too much, but bottom line is the owners essentially ended up paying the back taxes on it. So I got my 20% interest back. So I'm not too upset about that. But I really would have liked to actually have those units because it would give me the opportunity to rent them out. And one of the quads was had 4 one-bedroom, one-bath units within it. The other one had 2 one-bedroom, one-bath, and then 2 two-bedroom, two-bath units in it as well. And I really would have liked to have the opportunity to pretty much own those, but that's some of what you have to deal with from time to time. But I'm not going to say I regret it, but everything else has pretty much been strategic. And as you can see, I plan like crazy, and I go to websites and I do a heck of a lot more research than probably some of the more seasoned tax lien investors. But I do that for a specific reason. It served me well so far.
Yeah, because that's the only uncontrollable that I'm hearing throughout the whole process, right? The fact that you just during that year you don't really know, you can't go to the property, you don't really know, whether or not the person's gonna just come and pay or not.
Yeah,
you do a lot of research, so you just have to account for it.
yeah, I'm gonna ask you to be real patient. Be patient after you make that bid. Be real patient, and like I said, just have a strategy, and you do as much research as you can, and just find out as much about the county that you're operating in over everything else. Go to city council meeting.
How do you find out about the county?
I'm sorry, say again.
How you find out about the county?
I mean that's on the website. You could go to planning and development for any county in Georgia, and in most cases you'll find a lot of information there. But I am going to ask you to take it a step further. If there's ever a hearing of any kind regarding new development, if they're planning on putting up condos or something in a specific area, you go to those, take the time and go to those meetings. A lot of them are over Zoom nowadays, so register, right? And listen to the information that's actually being shared there. You'll find out more about that single development. You'll find out probably more about the county than you ever could have by participating in some of those meetings. And that's kind of how I came to find out a little bit about 6 West in College Park. And I'm keeping my ear real close to the ground on what's going on at Stonecrest as well. So, if you ever get that opportunity, just go to the county website. And in some cases, you'll have city websites as well, and read as much as you can online, and call the courthouse and find out, call the courthouse to find out as much as you can. And
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. Pastor, that's why they're there. We pay taxes.
So to get some of those development plans, do you have to pay for them? Is everything all free? Do you have to join boards, pay for any memberships or anything?
Not at all. Gwinnett County is free. All of that information is online. DeKalb County, most of that information is free. You may have to register for some of that stuff. City of College Park is free. It's an open website. You can go to that website. You don't have to register or anything. But they will ask you in College Park to make a donation because they're basically trying to get a group of people to become, shareholders of this development that's actually going on down there. So those are probably the only ones I can comfortably talk to you about right now.
Thank
And
you.
and have you? Sorry, my bad. Are you finished, James?
Yeah, I was just saying thank you.
Have you ever done a joint venture? And if so, how did that process work out for you?
Yeah, no, no, I haven't done a joint venture. A lot of the individuals that were in my class, I know they have. I I was actually supposed to be working with Georgia Tech's lien Bootcamp shortly after I joined finished my class. But I was in a contract that I couldn't get out of, and I got kind of pulled out of the country for a couple of months. So I didn't have the opportunity to really do as much as I wanted to with some of my classmates. But nonetheless, if I ever had the opportunity to do that again, once personal things, my personal situation improves and I get a little bit more free time, I wouldn't mind doing it at all.
Great question.
I had a pretty solid class. I mean, those guys, man, they could ask me for anything today, and I'll drop what I'm doing. I'll help them out. That's how confident we were. We really, not everyone knew everything, but we educated one another. And I think that's where the strength of a class comes together, because each of you comes with some degree of strength that you just don't know. And sometimes another classmate is going to pull it out of you. And when they do, you'll be surprised as a unit what you guys can pull, what you can pull off. So I'm going to make every opportunity that I have to encourage you guys to try to work together as a team.
Well said. Well said. All right. Well, Micheal, we appreciate you coming to spend time with us, man. It sounds like you got your hands full. It's good to see you again. You look good.